And how do I get in contact with American Promise? We met Michelle through our Teen Shop group. It's a youth leadership group that we have coaching children, students from the age grade 6 to 12 and beyond, making sure that they succeed in college. Um, and we know about American Promise through our director. We were looking for a speaker for our end of year ceremony. And we had read the book, American Promise, as one of our books in our book club. And we were very fascinated. And then we screened the movie, really fascinated movie. It really registered. And with us doing the same, being on the same one accord, the same thread, trying to, bridge this gap. And that's how we become interested in American Promise. After we hear Michelle speak, all of our parents were really elated and enthused about, the mission, and to know there were other people like us out there fighting for the same cause. What do? We have selected about 30 kids or so that we work very closely with. From 6th grade, we give them tutoring, we give them leadership. They're expected to lead in their class, to go back on what they are taught every Saturday. Our program meets every Saturday, and they are expected to go back and teach their peers what they learned.
Elnor, where are you?
Where am I? I'm in New Jersey.
Okay.
New Jersey. And our program runs out of Rutgers, Camden.
Rutgers, Camden. Okay.
Yes. And I didn't hear that.
I can't walk there.
I still didn't hear you.
It was a joke.
Okay. I laughed because I didn't hear it.
You're in Southern Jersey.
And we are really interested in getting these kids to understand who they are, what they're up against, and prepare them for the journey ahead, and to make them successful individuals, not only for themselves but for others. So that's why part of the core priority is that you go back to your classroom, to your school, and teach your other classmates what you learn. Mm-hmm. For the parents, we rally around each other, support each other in every way that we can. We meet also on Saturdays with the kids while the kids are being tutored or lectured to. We meet as parents and come up with all different ideas and programs. Like our book club, we read a lot and do other things to encourage each other and to educate ourselves about the cause and support each other when we are feeling, like if we are against a brick wall or something is happening in one of our children's school, we all be a part of what is happening. We all reach out to the teachers or the principals. So we go as a team. We are very big force to reckon with, and we usually activate the changes that we need.
Nice.
Well, I wish we would have had that when we were going through the process, because there's power in numbers.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. And we see that work all the time when we turn up at a school, 3 or 4 parents, and the guidance counselor will be asking, who are these people? And we were like, we're the team. We come to talk about what the issues are and how give you ideas and thoughts how to fix what is happening with a particular child or children. So it's a great journey that we are on, and yeah, I wish everybody could have that same team
Mhm.
to support them in the cause.
Well, that's what our hope is, that everyone can. And thanks for being a role model. Uh,
Absolutely.
uh, uh, Michelle, are we supposed to
Yeah,
introduce
and
ourselves?
then we see it as a collaboration because a collaboration between the parent, the student, and our organization. Because if the parent is not on board and is not aware of what is happening, then the support is like less.
Yes.
And the right, so we are big on let the parents understanding not to drop your child off at a program, but also to be
Mm.
part of that program and to learn the steps, the model, and to understand what is happening, the changes that is going to happen to your child, and the changes that are going to happen to you as an individual, as a parent. Because sometimes we think that we know it all, and then we realize that, oh no, that's not a true statement.
I think that's part of what inspired us to work towards supporting the creation of parent support networks like yours. I was
Absolutely.
very impressed by the parents and families that I met at Teen Sharp, and was quickly motivated to try to make the connection, with the Promise Clubs that are now in formation, and the other parent networks that we're connected to. Some of whom are here
Nice.
in the Hangout. And I think this type of work, it doesn't stop in June. I mean, it continues, or May, or whenever, the end of school is. The summer is equally important to keep the support going among parents, I think, and it's even, in some cases, even more important because, the statistics show that that's when the gap widens.
Right.
Yes.
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 And,
Yeah.
our role is even more crucial as parents because we become the teachers at the time, and try to make some kind of structure that allows for learning to continue. It's
Right.
not easy.
It's not. And
Absolutely.
what we continue to do though, we take a break during the June month. And June is our break month where everybody will take a vacation or just be on a downtime. But in July, which is we start back next Saturday on a very rigorous summer, um, that seem to try to bridge that gap,
Hmm.
that summer slump, just to really cut it off. So and on the beginning of Saturday, we are starting back doing our PA 3 hour summer bridge program where the kids come together and read. I mean, like they have like hundreds of pages to read a week and writing to do, you know. So they we continue on in the summer months for short for 5 weeks, and then we take another break before we start back again.
Nice.
Well, for the summer for us is actually the most exciting time of the year. Like during the school, we feel like, okay, it's a curriculum, and we're trying to keep up. We're trying to get the work done. But in the
Hmm.
summer, I have this feeling that I'm that I'm doing something special, um, uh, by allowing my son to read, allowing my son to learn vocabulary without being compared to his peers.
Right.
And my favorite thing is summer math. Uh, we are a big proponent of these amazing computerized math support programs, and
Wonderful.
you can find them online. There are literally hundreds of them. We use one called Alex, and the research shows that you can complete with the support of one of these programs the equivalent of a full hour of learning in about a tenth of the time. Oh, about no, maybe 6 minutes, 6 to
Mm.
12 minutes. And so, it's really a nice opportunity for him to learn the principles, catch up, and even enter 6 months ahead. And we're really proponent of decreasing this 4-year gap, and we like people to understand that there is a middle class gap also, and
Yeah, absolutely.
and that and that and that it's an amazing opportunity for our kids.
Yeah, and I think we have Gwendolyn. Maybe you'd like to say something a little bit about what
Oh,
work you're doing at the.
hi. Yes, my name is Gwen Dean, and I am the co-PTA president of Eagle Academy of Southeast Queens. Eagle Academy for Young Men in Southeast Queens is part of a network of schools, which right now we are in, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 schools. Staten Island will be opening in September, and East New York will be opening in 2015. But our pillars are basically the same as so many others, which are clear: confidence, leadership, effort, academic excellence, and resilience. We support our young men, and we also, our parents, are a crucial component here, because we know that it takes the village. It takes the parent being on board along with the student to make sure that they succeed in their educational process. So we share information. Right now we are on a little bit of a break, but I'm a computer head all day long, so I'm always constantly sharing different information. It's funny, Eleanor talked about when she first was introduced to American Promise. I remember I came across it, I don't know, I think somewhere on a web someplace, and I started emailing, I'm not even sure if it was Alex or Dorsey, trying to screen the movie in Queens. But fortunately, we were able to, probably about 6 months later, am I right, Michelle? Screen the movie in the village with some students, and then we were able to host a screening at our school, which was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful community event, and we had over 100 participants there, from the Boy Scouts to other schools, junior high schools, and the dialogue was tremendous for me. I was overwhelmed by that evening, realizing that it's not just myself in this, that there's so many others who want to make sure that they bridge this gap for their young men. And there were parent coordinators that came out and even reached out to us about screening the movie. But just to start the dialogue, and as Joe said, summer is really interesting. I prepare for summer in January. I start looking for programs that are really, that give both the balance of education along with some fun learning. Right now, my son happens to be going to a program called World of Money, and he's really excited about it. It's a financial literacy program, and he's having a conversation about things that people don't talk about till they get into their 20s and 30s, which is really interesting. But it's really important that we undergird our young men, whoever and however we touch them in any capacity, being myself as a parent, a leader organizer, and or those who have gifts and talents of just those around you. Just, it's really important to help them to achieve their goals in a positive manner and in an expeditious manner as well.
So,
But I know we also have a special guest tonight, am I correct? And we have the CEO of Quavo. Harlan, are you there?
Hi, Gwen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because I have a lot of questions.
Yes. So I'm Harlan from Clovey. We are a literacy innovation organization, and we're dedicated to accelerating literacy achievement for the kids who need it most. That primarily consists of kids of color and low-income kids. And so for the last couple of years, we've been working with a lot of schools across the country, providing them a free platform that allows teachers to assign ebooks, to link some assessments to those ebooks, link those assessments to standards, and then to neatly summarize data about student achievement and progress. We, this summer, decided to take a slight deviation from that path and decided to create a platform or a version of the platform that can support summer reading. And so we created what we call the Read to Fly summer reading program that provides kids across K through 12 curated collection of titles that they can read for free online from any device that they have access to. And we've been, I guess, successfully promoting access to Read to Fly over the last few weeks and are excited to continue to provide this opportunity completely free to anybody that signs up for it. So, yes, any questions are welcome, and I'd love to share more details.
How do you start? Okay, so tell me more about the Read to Fly. How do I get started? Is there a website?
Right, right. So I'm going to add a link to the chat page, the group chat that says it's clovey.com/read-to-fly. That's QLOVI.com/read-to-fly, READTOFLY. And what kids or parents or guardians can do is go to that website and sign up. There's two different options for signing up: a kid who's below 13 or a kid who's older than 13 years of age. Provide some very basic information, and they'll be ready to go. All they will need to be able to do is sign up for the program, create an account, and pick the grade that they are entering into for the fall, and then they'll have access to reading these titles online for the rest of the summer.
Nice. Nice. Now, does this only end? I mean, I know you said this is for the summer, but can this also now be bridged into the school year?
Yes, we will be providing more opportunities for reading at home during the school year. We've traditionally worked with educators to provide the platform across classrooms, but we're going to be doing more to support reading at home. I guess one important thing for me to mention is that we take really great care to bring in a lot of diverse titles from publishers who work on supporting Black-brown communities, so that kids can have access to more culturally relevant content, both during the school year itself and during some fun independent reading time that perhaps happens during the summer months. And so what we also tried to do for the collections that we created for this summer is to add a layer of diversity and a layer of more cultural relevance to the titles that we curated for students across grade levels. And anyone who signs up will be continuing to receive additional information about additional free reading opportunities that are to come.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
And who do you work with to make your book selections? Who you have, like an advisory group, or what's
terrific question. We've done a few different things to make sure that we curate good titles, both for schools and for homes. We've worked with a lot of educators who have a lot of experience working in English language arts classrooms and across content areas, social studies, history, etc., and who have a good number of years of experience recognizing which titles resonate with kids, which titles are good for particular different skills or objectives, and ideally titles that do both of those things together at the same time. And what we've also gone ahead and done is, as we've worked in closer concert with a lot of districts across the country, is worked with them on understanding what titles they want to see inside the platform. And I think it'd be really wonderful to work with this community, with the American Promise community and the Promise Clubs community, to understand which titles would be really good for us to add into the platform, and that's a really wonderful, rich, ongoing conversation that we can have.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Well, count me in. After we finish this algebra module, we're going to go full more on adding these pages. And I actually I know that you're working on some things. I like to know maybe offline what you're working on in terms of your selection in Jersey, and maybe some of that can be added to the platform.
Right.
What we understand is this: is that the more collaboration that we can have, the more opportunities that we can develop, opportunities that we can't even imagine right now. So I I would encourage Gwendolyn to speak with Harlan and vice versa, and let's make it happen.
Oh, absolutely. I'm on it.
So what we're doing for the summer with our own son is doing some of the work to prepare him for the year, and I like the way Gwen mentioned it earlier, that we begin early too.
Yeah.
We believe that reading by itself can actually prepare our son
I think
for
also,
the future.
I think part of the important thing that it's not just that they're absorbing knowledge over the summer that allows to reduce, to combat the gap, but there is a level of confidence that they gain, I feel, at least I
Yes,
feel, that preparing for the
absolutely,
summer,
absolutely.
they feel better about themselves when they start school, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like they're either, behind, or that they don't know what's going on. There's a certain level of confidence that I think can lead to some form of even, leadership for them in the classroom that, creates a good foundation, because then they get, hopefully in the classroom, some positive feedback
Mm-hmm.
for that, confidence and level of knowledge.
Well, and one of the areas that we like to think about is how do you develop your child emotionally, and what I'm talking about, a growth mindset. I cannot work on his growth mindset when he's in school, but when I'm working
Right.
with, he gets comfortable with the notion of struggle and failure as a positive.
Mm,
And I can do that if I get involved in some of the work during the summer.
right, right.
When he has those hundreds of pages of reading, sometimes I read them too, and
Right.
I catch up on the classics that I picked up on I don't know how many years ago.
So,
But
Joe, you're a student too, huh?
uh, what,
Ongoing students, are we?
We all are.
and he sees my struggle
Right.
in my learning, and it becomes an additional part of learning, part of the pedagogy. But the other thing is that we are beginning to think about the fall, and what
Right.
we at American Promise are doing is we're developing relationships uh, with schools and institutions in about 14 cities. And we're going to begin to go out and discuss uh, learning from a different point of view. But when we initially made this project, we didn't see ourselves as educators or like focused on education. We were making a film. But what we learned over time is that people are moved by the film, and really what we want to give them something to do. It's not enough to be inspired.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
well, it's about having tools that you can use to move the pendulum forward. And I think
Absolutely.
concrete things like the work that Harlan is doing with the reading, that adds up over time and makes a significant impact. The
Right.
mathematics programs make a significant impact. But we are actually trying to use all of the tools that we've developed over the past 3 or 4 years in collaboration with teachers and families, uh, and have organizations take those tools and actually implement them. So we begin this
Right.
next month in Omaha, uh, and in Minneapolis, and then we moved down the coast, Washington D.C. We're on our way to Philadelphia. We'll be working with the Friends schools there. We'll be in Atlanta, Durham, North Carolina, uh, and New Orleans. So over the next, again, 20 weeks, we'll be talking to educators, teaching them to use our campaign tools. And Harlem will be taking uh, Clovey down with us and supporting
Nice.
that tool also, if you don't mind.
I like the plan.
I had a question. What's your age range for Clovey?
For the summer months, we're supporting. We've curated collections across K through 12. During the school year itself,
Right.
we also try to do the same.
Okay.
We make a distinction in that we're not building foundational literacy skills. What we're providing is access to a lot of relevant and engaging texts
Okay.
for building more in-depth, I guess, more complex literacy skills.
Nice.
Holland, we sure will be using your platform also. I think it sounds really great. And if I can comment on something that Joe said earlier about reading with his son, and that's something I see that when the parents are involved, the child is more enthused and more, more prone or
Engaged.
more eager to learn if the parent is
Absolutely.
involved. I've seen with our
Absolutely.
I would see with our program that the parents who are not involved are the ones that is actually not moving forward.
There's an echo there.
Yes, I'm hearing myself back.
Yes.
Somebody has it. Maybe. Can everybody mute? Yeah.
Yeah. But Eleanor, I agree with you completely. A couple of years ago, my oldest daughter, we read a book together while she was on vacation, and it was so engaging and enlightening, and she is an avid reader at the age of 29 now. So I think it's really important that we do it, partner together. We're students as long as we have students.
Right, correct.
There's a whole lot of folks who suggest that literacy isn't a skill, but a condition. And I've been really thinking a lot about that school of thought recently, because as many of you are suggesting, it is those conditions and those very rich conversations around a text, beyond a text, within a text, that create these rich connections that hopefully create these lifelong relationships to reading and to seeking knowledge and to always understanding that it is just it used to be a library away or a bookshelf away, but now it is only a click away. We're hoping that the more that we provide and embed these engaging opportunities across more devices, the more accessible and the more growth that we'll be able to drive.
Yeah, that's great. I think we have someone new here who was. Is that Susan?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I actually was on the last promise call as well,
Okay.
so I don't recall that. I'm Susan Harriott from Cool Boys Read. Our program actually is designed to engage kids, boys in particular, over the summer with summer reading, and I've just been smiling and nodding along because in terms of reading along with your child, that's something that I promote and advocate. It's something that I do personally, and it's something that I'm encouraging parents to do, particularly for summer reading that may be on a topic that they're not interested in. I'm saying that's even more reason to read along with your student. And I also wanted to share that I am a fan and follower of the Eagle Academy. I applaud all the work that you're doing there. I also am a fan and follower of World of Money. And actually, our theme this year for our summer program is Make It Count. So we're focusing on financial literacy. And we're also running a contest for non-members to read along and write along with us. So it's for kids in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut from ages 6 to 14 who can choose any book on financial literacy, but we do have a list of suggested books, and those books actually promote diversity as well as financial literacy. So that's how those books were selected. But they can choose any book on their reading level, read it, respond to questions, and their reading response will then qualify them for an opportunity to be published in our book. We publish a book every year of members writing. This is the cover of our last book. I'll bring it up closer.
Oh, I don't think we can see.
Our theme last year was Explore, Discover, Create. Our cover is illustrated by Jerry Kraft. We'll be doing our cover again this year. But again, this year our topic is Make It Count. So students will be invited to write on a topic related to financial literacy, either money smart or about being an entrepreneur business owner. And our contest will be judged by QBR, the Quarterly Black Book Review. And the submission deadline is July 31st, so I'm hoping that people will share that information with eligible students so that they can participate in our contest.
Nice.
And how do we connect to Cool Boys Read?
I will send you a link to the website, and I will also send a link directly to the contest page with all of that information.
Okay.
I'm sharing them now in the chat.
Nice.
So we'll post that on our site as well.
So the second, what's it, cut off?
Is it 1 hour? No, okay. Well, in closing, we're very happy that we're able to bring together the second Thomas Club Network webinar, and look forward to continuing different themes in the month and bring more clubs on. What was it? I can't remember anyway. So I don't know if anybody else would like to say something or to comment. We, again reiterate the importance and need for us to continue doing, the work that we're doing through the summer with our children and their friends. I think it's a good way for us to prepare and to be engaged for the fall as well. I thank you for joining. And
well, I'm going to say something. I'm just going to say that for me, collaboration is everything.
Absolutely.
And so every time I collaborate with another parent or another program or another child, I benefit, my family benefits, and my community benefits. And so I like to see this collaboration continue. And so you have Harlan's contact number, but if Gwen or anyone else, Susan or Elmore wants to type on the side your contact information, your email, just makes it easier for us to stay in touch, and we will be back in touch soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joe and Michelle. Thank you, Harlan. Thank you, Eleanor. Glad to hear the work that everyone is doing.
Yes, and I look forward for us to keeping and maintaining the contact as we move forward amongst the various groups. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.